Hello, beautiful family of light. So much love to all of you and welcoming you on this magnificent March 1st, this fantastic renewal energy of March, on this episode of the Ascension Hour with Reverend HoniB and her incredible guest, someone who I have had the honor of knowing for many, many years. It's actually out of everyone that I have interviewed up until now, she has known me the longest since 2006. So I am so humbly grateful and thankful for this opportunity to introduce one of my most sacred sisters that has tremendous gifts to share with us today, Jocelyn Gordon. Welcome, sacred sister Jocelyn. I'm so delighted to have you.
Thank you, beautiful. When I hear 2006, I'm like, wow. And I still feel like there's so much for us to get to know about each other. So that's really exciting. Thanks for inviting me here.
Of course. Thank you for being here. And thank you for coming on this perfect day on the energy of March. So I am so thankful as the audience is looking forward to it. And as usual, we're going to go ahead and call the prayers around this, the frequency, so the information can come in and everybody that is listening is ready to just receive that coded language that will be shared. So let us all just relax back for a moment, uncross our legs. Let us close our eyes and place our hands on the heart. Let us just connect with that beautiful heart for a second, noticing that heartbeat that is beating from inside out. And let us now tune in to that sacred holy breath as we take a nice deep in-breath from this horizontal plane into the center of our heart and hold the breath. As you connect with that crystalline, diamond, dazzling, glorious flame of light inside, connecting with the love of the divine inside your heart where it resides, letting it know that you are where it is here, and release that breath. And I invite you to take another deep and slower in-breath back into this centralized location inside your crystalline, diamond, dazzling heart. And hold your breath as you draw your awareness downward through your lower chakras, passing through your Earth Star chakra all the way down to the heart of Hollow Earth, into the heart of Gaia's crystalline, diamond, beautiful, glowing heart, letting her know your love is here to connect with her, as she's here to connect with you. And as you release that breath out through your mouth, take the next deep in-breath from this horizontal plane. Slow it down even more. Draw it all the way to the center of your crystalline diamond heart. With its love, now draw the in-breath as you hold your breath. Draw your attention upwards through your upper chakra, passing through your soul star chakra all the way up to the great central sun, and passing into the heart of Source, connecting to the love of Source of all creation from your heart, and releasing your breath, letting Source know you're here to connect with it. And on this next final in-breath, draw your breath from the horizontal plane, slower and deeper, back into your crystalline diamond heart. As you centralize it in this vertical axis and the horizontal axis, in the unity Christ consciousness of the sacred divine feminine, sacred divine masculine, with its love connected to, below, and above. With all your love, now release the breath outward in all direction, in front of you, behind you, to your left, to your right, above and below, and extended all the way to your auric field and your photonic light body. And know that you are completely enclosed within this dazzling, glorious light of divine from its crystalline essence. And anything less than this divine perfection may not interact in any which way. All that is shared today is connected and unified in this crystalline consciousness. And we are completely ready in receptive mode to receive the wisdom that will be shared through our beloved Jocelyn, through its wisdom of light, with our hearts open and grounded into Mother Earth, fully centered and in receptive mode. And so it is as we begin. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm like, oh, honey.
Good, because these devices are so profound as means of communication. And when we invoke that crystalline diamond presence that is unified within our highest essence, the streaming of its light is so unified, and whoever is ready to receive will really receive the wisdom because they know it inside. So I'm so excited to welcome you, my sacred sister. I've been very excited to have you on, as gosh, it's been quite a while since we have really interacted, and we've had a few fantastic interactions over the year. And I want to just bring us to this now. This talk of ascension. Gosh, Jocelyn, I've been a witness to your journey and all of its endeavors, and up and down and all around, and really seeing yourself in different parts of Earth and coming here. So in your now, where are you right now? Exactly in this present moment, where are you?
You're speaking geographically on the planet.
I'm talking about your now, your ascension. Where are you? Where are you?
God and I am deepening my relationship with Creator. I am with the Most High, removing all interference and asking for absolute clarity, grace. I am deepening more into the Christian teachings through the Bible, and just looking at God's promises and looking at my life, because I'm ageless and I'm chronologically moving towards 50. So there's this natural reflection of life and what's next, all the different chapters. And, I'm kind of at a space where I've made a lot of bold decisions on my own, which I do feel were inspired by God and the Most High, or I'm still like, really what's happening now is like, God, give me your name, because God doesn't feel right for me. And like the Most High is like a lot of words. And, so I'm really asking God, like, what is the name like in which I can call upon you and we can have our own intimate relationship. And so, yes, I've had a lot of, insight and movements and great decision-making, not so great decision-making. And I really want to be aligned with God's will in a more conscious way, kind of get out of my own way. That's what's happening in my spiritual life
Right now. Yeah.
Right now. Yeah.
I asked that because it's been so interesting interviewing week after week, all the different frequencies, individuals, the wisdom that is shared. And there's this interesting common place where we have gone again, like up and down, and things are, just falling by the wayside, and it's more of the purest essence being called forth. And there's this deeper and deeper it's like a deeper calling coming on. It seems like it's just coming more and more alive, and it is nameless.
Yeah.
It's nameless, and there's an attempt to want to harmonize this with the name, because we know the power of that name also has a certain invocation in it, where it becomes more, like you said, personalized, yet we can also experience, it's like the grandness. We are attempting to unify that grandness within. And how wondrous is that? And isn't it because so much has been cleared out of the template?
I know, out of the template of my life, so much has been cleared.
I love that you can laugh about it, Jocelyn. You know, it's
kind of hurt though, but it's okay. I'm better for it.
Right. I mean, a whole lot of tears came from that. It came first before the true joyous laughter can be expressed, right? And it's freedom, because what is this Holy Spirit, right? What, like, really, what is it? Is that, and I know you see it in your precious, like, Sienna Joy, like
my daughters, yeah.
That life force of that Holy Spirit, right? Because it's not so much of that density, right? That became to clear and clear and clear. And you sure have gone a lot of clearing. It's been a nice template clearing, hasn't it?
That's why I'm like, can we close a few chapters? Can we get to the next volume of the book? And God's like, oh, but wait, there's a bit more. I'm like, okay, let me just be humble and patient and trust.
And how have you, for our audience, Jocelyn, how have you, from kicking and screaming and being pissed off and victim and upset and all of that, to here, what is the one area that you feel, look, I finally got this, that this ascension journey is not here to hurt me, it's here to help me, really. But what have you really grasped from this, from all those kicking and screaming and like falling flat on your face, and then that you've resurrected again and again and again?
I would love to say I've fully mastered it, but I'm definitely in a space of greater ease, is to be a master. Like, nothing else matters but guarding my peace. Because all the chemicals and the frustration, they come from inside of me, and I feel them. I can feel the chemicals and hormones that make me feel alive and vibrant. And I can feel the chemicals and hormones that stimulate inflammation and joint discomfort and lymphatic accumulation. And I went through a few years of that after my divorce, because it was like very intense and painful. But I'm the one who suffers, not to say that other people, aren't, but it's like my physical time, I can't do that to my temple anymore. There's nothing is worth destroying or disrupting my peace. So continuing to return to that. And then it's my responsibility to, take care of myself and to establish, boundaries, hashtag, it's such a word, but to go into greater relationship with what it means to love myself and to take good care of myself and encourage others to do the same, and that we meet somewhere in a Venn diagram, nurturing each other.
And isn't that true self-love? That real self-love, when we tune into it and we actually welcome it or surrender into it, it has its own natural boundary. We don't have to put on boundaries anymore. Like, I feel like probably before we had to put on boundaries because it felt like it was being invaded. But from the love, there's this natural, it just happens naturally. Are you experiencing more and more of that?
Yes. Well, for years, I didn't really know. I thought I knew what my boundaries were. I was going through lessons, and the hula hoop, which is part of my life and my lineage, was really helping me in ways I didn't realize, because it's this physical border of my space, your space, and that expansion and contraction and the toroidal energy and all of that. And then that led to deeper levels of emotional understanding of what my needs are. And I didn't know what gaslighting was until, my 22-year-old told me about it. And then I was like, it doesn't feel good. It's like, it's really made me, at least in my own experience, do a lot of questioning and self-doubt, and that I didn't know what was going on when it was going on, but I knew that I did not feel good in my body. And then once I got myself out of that situation, I could feel into the layers and fill my cup again, and then move forward with a better understanding of what my emotional boundaries are. So.
And are you finding through these, like, it's like the layers and layers of the deeper awareness, different understanding, where you're now standing on a different octave of light from what has arisen, right? In that lens that now sees it, are you finding that you're beginning to enjoy it, like actually enjoy the process of it, versus how it felt just a lot more, it felt I feel for so many of us, it felt like an agony and suffering.
It felt like, for me, in asserting my boundaries, I had a lot of judgment about how I would be judged and perceived. And then in my own journey, when I realized, no, this is like saving my life, these decisions that I'm making to protect my body, to protect my home, my children in a certain way. Mother, I am mother, and I'm Mama Bear, and this is how I'm choosing to nurture and protect us and keep us safe. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So I have less judgment about how me expressing myself is being perceived.
Yeah. And let me speak about that, because I love you pinpointed something very interesting that I had a lot of conversation around this as well. This, you and I both mothers, and we are absolutely Mama Bear. Like, I mean, there's no joking around that with our whatsoever. A Mama Lion, like, even Mama Whale, Mama, all of those, carry the template on that. And I don't know if you have found, Jocelyn, that protection that we're speaking of for a very long time in this incarnation, in this template, it was like as if a lot of the traumas of our childhood gave us actually that opportunity to kick in that divine masculinity within ourselves. So create that protection, and that is a huge part of the ascension walk, where this divine masculine within divine feminine within is coming in to unify before, because otherwise we keep seeking it from the outside, and then there's a fall with that. And are you finding that divine masculine protecting your children, all of that came in, now that it's like much more harmonized, there's this now relaxing within your template, that like, I don't have to protect so much anymore. I can just relax back into this because I did it. Are you finding that?
I feel that in that my relationship with spirit, which I know is inside me and outside of me, at the same time. And so, like, not feeling like I have the entire responsibility, giving thanks for all the prayers of all the ones who have came before me that have held us, my mom, my aunt, my grandparents, my babies, and that will held us, and knowing the power of prayer in that field for my babies and the ones who are to come forward. And so I feel like it's less like I'm supported. Whereas that other aspect was like that fierce independence, and it's just me. And I was raised by a single mother, so that came very easily. But it's not just me.
And that's valuable, because this is why I asked from the audience, because so many of us, that incarnated into this planet to bring the ascension in its alchemization, bringing it really forward into flourishing. So we are ascending into this raise of vibration, right? In our resurrection into the light, what we have. And it is for it to then be embodied into these bodies, like in full knowing, in total knowing, where there's no separation. Yet to get to that place and to walk it, it is this muscle that continuously has had to be practiced through these different situations. And nothing like the traumas that we signed up to experience give us the opportunity to put them into real practice. And in inviting that spirit, that part of us that's so much more bigger to handle the endeavors or the cause, right? And that freedom that comes with it, the liberation that comes with it is such tremendous. And I'm finding more and more are experiencing, because many have had this struggle with it, and we have gone through that ourselves, toughening everything up, all of that, only because we didn't want to get hurt. And in reality, it's been only the experience that wanted to be presented, seen, so that we can choose the higher, bring the higher into it. Yeah.
I love that. You just, I don't know. I don't have anything to say to that.
Because we're in that place, like it's so interesting. In those darker moments, right? Did you ever really, really, totally feel that you were completely alone? Or somewhere inside of you always knew you really not, but it just feels alone right now. But I have to go through it no matter what.
I want to share that I feel like one of my darkest moments was in Bali. I've gone through some stuff coming back home and the dissolution of my marriage. But the only time I really felt alone in terms of, again, my peers and judgment, not alone, like I knew spirit was there, but I was in such a deep state of like self-loathing, that especially in the community that I was in Ubud, with a lot of the, some of the Abraham Hicks, I think it's really, really great, but I think a lot of it too can be bypassing. And at least in my own experience, I was feeling shame, because here I am in this love and light community, living my best life with all these amazing people. And we're, doing our thing and living our calling and all of that. And that felt lonely to me, because again, I take responsibility, my judgment of how others would perceive me being me. So it comes back to my own self-judgment.
Yeah. And why do you, in your lens, in this ascension walk, you feel like that self-judgment was placed there? What has been the gift of self-judgment, Jocelyn, in your lens?
The gift of self-judgment. I'll have to maybe get to that through speaking. Like when I think of, and I'll just bring up race in America. We are all just one race, but like race in America, and how my mom and my aunt were raised by my grandparents, who had such fierce love for them, wanting to see them safe and succeed and thriving in this world. They had to be perfect, my mom and my aunt, and I'm only one generation removed from them. So I know how intense it was for me. I can only imagine how intense it was for them and my grandparents. So there's this interwovenness of like the intense self-judgment, it comes from this love, this fierce love, again, related to protection and safety and all of that of my ancestors. So I feel like a gift of being at this place in my lineage is that I am my ancestors' dreams. I am this free woman in a free nation, and with a level of autonomy that my ancestors could have only dreamed of. So, I'm not sure how to answer that question, but I can understand, I can have compassion around where it came from, because I know it came from fierce love.
Yeah. So it's interesting because some of these things on the ascension, it's like from our human lens, we're really seeing it in one way. And then from our spirit lens, we're really seeing it a whole different way. And like, I found myself numerous times from my human lens, it is the lens of judgment because it's so narrow. It's so narrow in its vision, and it's this way. So naturally from that contraction, it just doesn't have all the information, doesn't have all the light, and it's quite kind of like dark if you look at it, you know. So it's more it's just not liberated. So but from this lens of spirit, like I can then move to here, and then I see it like, oh, completely differently. And there's a lot of love and compassion. And suddenly this judgment lens becomes like a tool of, wow, you know, from the very dense humanity consciousness that has seen world through this narrow lens, it has perceived it this way because it's been a separation of spirit. And then you come to spirit, you see it's never been broken, never been imperfect. It's actually, there's a perfection in it that this will never be able to see. Can't even conceive it. Poor thing. It's like, it's too narrow, right? So that compassion, that quality of divine is an ascension. Right? And wow, till we get there, sister. What a walk. And judgment is such a key part of that. So you can love even judgment.
Yeah, I love that, like how the polarity or the complement, judgment, compassion, you know, and even in my work with the hoop too, it's like literally standing in the hoop, either physical or vibrational, and having a wide hoop of compassion for yourself and others. It doesn't mean we have to condone everyone's 3D behaviors, but you know, it's just having that wide.
Yeah. But you can accept them, right? Okay, that's a journey you're not going to condone. Okay, I see that. Like, I really see that. And the choice not to judge becomes so liberating and so freeing.
Yeah. It's like, and it's a choice, and it's a shift. It's a shift of consciousness.
It really
is. And, you know, I'm grateful for the practices that have helped me make that shift.
Yeah. And you're around that body of water, right? So that all that body of water has had no choice but to like wash all of these, Jocelyn, right? So you can get to like the core of these things.
And literally, I am in a small town in Florida that is the closest exit to the Atlantic Ocean. So yes, quite literally. The ocean is right here. Breathing
all that Atlantic energy, and tied to all the Atlantis energy, washing away. It's incredible.
And we are in the Caribbean. Like, you know, the maps have it distorted, but
totally.
We're in the Caribbean. I'm with my people.
The original.
The original island people. Yeah. I was born in Bermuda. My favorite shirt growing up was "I survived the Bermuda Triangle." Like, I really wish I had that shirt today. I was about from maybe 5 to 8. That was my favorite shirt.
Incredible that you were born in Bermuda. I actually never knew that, Jocelyn.
Yeah. Conceived and born in Bermuda. I'm Bermudian.
Wow. Bermudian. Totally truth bomb chills on me.
I saw a UFO in Bermuda when I was 3.
Of course.
I remember seeing me standing on the balcony, and I was just looking at it, and it was looking at me.
Yeah.
And then it zoom.
Yeah. I mean, you're a powerful star being here, condensed in that gorgeousness of yours. It doesn't have much room. And and it is beautiful. A couple of things that I want to circle around. there are these pockets of areas on Earth that have these powerhouse streaming light, such
Yeah.
as Sedona, such as Tulum, such as Ubud, and that's where you and I were with each other several years ago, and and for years I always wanted to get there. Until I got there, I was shocked with how dark it felt, and why I was even sent there to
Yeah, it's intense.
clearing first. I never even, because at first in that assignment, I couldn't understand by the Arcturian councils. That makes no sense. That's one of the energy spots. Why would I want to go clear that? Why are you sending me there?
Why do they need you there?
Yeah, but to my absolute shock and surprise, it was on one of the most extreme level of dark places that I had gone, and to do a lot of clearing on the land. And so very easily it can be this ungrounded, I don't call it false light ever, because light is not, it's just ungrounded, ungrounded energy of light, where it is, it is expanded here, but it can't ground into the template because there are too many pockets of clusters of limitations sitting. So God's light, source light, divine light bends when it hits it, and it can't radiate it out.
Can't really penetrate it.
Yeah, but it penetrates, but it bends. It bends.
Okay.
So as it pours in, it's to blast out. But so when individuals in their field, their biophotonic field, have a lot of pockets, like a lot of times what I see, it's like as if, those yellow sticky notes, it's filled sticky notes in there. And it's like not breathing. It's not breathing that pure universal cosmic breath in their bodies. So it can't fully be anchored into their cellular construct. And because it hits it, it bends. It hits it because it's supposed to hit and blast out of their heart in every direction freely. Yeah. But that's what would happen. So, and it's a lot of infiltration of discarnate energy within the field. That's
it's very chaotic. It's very charged. It's like,
but not charged properly. What it is that the signal inside the biofield, the auric field, is disturbed. It's not this gracious dancing that you and I are so drawn to, which is, you're connected to the whales, connected to the water. We know that divine mother, like it's like it nourishes, but it's disturbed. And that's when we meet it, it doesn't feel good. I usually just, I don't interact. I leave, because it just not, it's not for me, you know.
It was a big learning in Bali, let me tell you. 4.5 years of living in that field.
To get to know it so much, and for you to be able to, your attempt to anchor it, and then be here to be nourished, and God bless you to be nourished in the vibration of the environment that can really support you for, like, look at all these wonderful things that you're really bringing forth.
That was amazing.
These sacred beings that want to come into this temple, the womb, but it can't be this disturbed signal within the biophotonic field, because these ones are so pure. Like,
I call them ancient wise souls, and they are very, very, I mean, we are all ancient wise souls, but they are very, very, very pure. And that's part of the conscious conception work. Like, we need to raise up and allow them with God to help us bring that alignment and that flow into our lives, so that when they arrive, there's less turbulence, there's less chaos, there's just a bit more exhale.
And you went through that with Sienna Joy yourself. So, I remember that lunch we had. You're like, I totally remember that they were sitting and conception. And that's why I have this like love for her that I can't describe.
And she felt it for you. She was like, Mommy, are we going to see that lady again? When are we going to see that lady again? And I was like, wow, that's really authentic.
Telepathically, we've always communicated, but she brought to bring all this awareness so that you can go through. And then with this, I want to now get into this very sacred work you're doing that I'm so thankful, because in just for 1 second, I'm going to share this with you. Over the years, Jocelyn, Michael and I have worked with many women who could not conceive. They spent thousands and hundreds of dollars with IV and all of these things. And what the collaboration with Michael and I had been to clear their template, simple that. And we can tell you, and again, we didn't do the work. Sure. Being instruments of just allowing, and they're allowing. Every single one that was told they could never conceive, they can't do it, failed. Specifically, these 6 individuals, every single one conceived, every single one had it, and we're very close to their children and interaction. And but because that's also possible, because this template was not able to house these bright lights.
These ancient wise souls.
That's right. So tell us about your fantastic work, because this is what I am so excited about for my audience to know what you offer.
Thank you. Well, I call it, or it's been called, conscious conception coaching. And I know, we have various streams and everyone gets their downloads. I'm very grateful that, I want to acknowledge Jordan, who is my first love. I call her my surprise baby. And we grew up together in many ways. And she's a very, very wise, strong, anchored young woman. And I want to say she was part of the conscious conception journey in Sienna coming through as well, because I knew when Jordan was 5 that there was another baby coming. I just didn't know when. And so Jordan was 5. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do the math, but anyway, she's 22 now. It was a winding road. So I know for a lot of women who are going on a fertility journey, who maybe feel like their clock is ticking and all that timeline stuff, I conceived when I was 40. Just to speak to some of those fears of, will it happen for me? But, I never felt that it was something that wasn't going to happen. I 1,000% was convicted. That. Anyone who knows me from that timeline in DC knows I'm having another baby. So in that awareness, I started to feel this energy that I now call Sienna. And that connecting with that energy through and with God, it took me out of a marriage. It took me from the East Coast to the West Coast, from working for others to establishing my own business, to going through grief to writing this amazing curriculum. I always like to say that Hoop Yogini chose me. And I said yes for this holistic fitness practice. I'm kind of giving you my journey quickly, and creating a lifestyle that was more globally minded, focused on global citizenship. And that led Jordan and I to Bali, where she went to this amazing school, the Green School in the Jungle, has fantastic friends that she speaks with every day through the power of technology from that time. 2.5 months after I arrived, I met Sienna's dad, who came for the exact same reason. We were there to create a masterpiece. And that's where I also was able to ground in Hoop Yogini in this culture of nomadic, entrepreneurs and everything. So that's a bit of my journey that spanned about 10 years. Anything can happen in a moment. And I was able to flow. So, what'd you say, honey?
I said, oh yeah.
Yes, you know how it is. So through that whole time, I was receiving information through my own experiences. And then living in Bali, I was really immersed in a birth keeper community with Ibu Robin Lim and the Bhumi Sahat Foundation. Peaceful birth is what we need for a peaceful earth. So being really a part of that mission and having the opportunity to spend time with grandmother midwives, that led me to holding more spaces for mothers. And there was just this sense of, star tribe. And so several mothers and I in that community, we brought these ancient wise souls in. And I realized too that it was a trend. And I looked back at the trend of maybe, maybe I was an indigo and maybe Jordan's a rainbow. And who are these beings coming in right now? And spirit, actually I met they revealed themselves to me twice in that preconception journey. And the message was very simple, but it felt very profound, like the paradigm shift between parenting and guardianship, between, this hierarchical way of relating to, I am a guardian, we are a guardian of these ancient wise souls. And again, it's very simple, but it just felt so deep when the message was coming through. And so I noticed that there are these children with these really big eyes. A lot of them are quite verbal, very young, running around very young, just onto it very fast. And I noticed that in my own child, and then started looking around and could recognize them. And then could in contrast recognize too, the kind of dull ones for a variety of reasons. And loving everyone, loving all the babies, and getting just more information about how these ancient wise souls they're coming in, and all the sloughing off work that I did, my generation, they don't have to do all that. Our job is just to help them be intact, to be who they are, and to guard them, not in a ferocious way, but to guard them as they grow into their physical bodies, fully intact with their codes and knowing and direct connection to God. Because again, they don't have to do all the exfoliating of their soul and personality and their ancestral line and their generational healing,
And that's what you and I, even from back in 2006, we connected because, Jordan and Keon are exactly same age. Like we've had this conversation. Like we knew, I mean, they are so freaking ancient. Like,
yeah, they are.
I mean, they look at you, they know, and the amount of
so penetrative, their presence, like you
right,
can't.
like it's like so many times I felt like, okay, I'm like a failed parent in their eyes because they're so crisp in hey, get your stuff together. You're supposed to be my guardian. Like it's this presence, and we being the indigos coming in, we have had to, and they respected, they know, like in the conversations I have with my oldest, and I know you have with Jordan, they know why we had to come in first and then so because of the incredible work they'll be doing on this planet, and then the age group of Sienna Joy and
golden, I call them goldens.
So it's so beautiful, and the blessings that blessed experience, being on this ascension journey, being consciously aware, and then being given the opportunity and choosing the opportunity as a soul agreement to come in as the so-called mother, but roaming through this birth, the stargate that they came in, right? And then for us to just guard it. I remember, Justin, I remember with the Octurians before I got on the road, all of that, and I had asked, and I remember this is even years before that, when I asked, they said, you are assigned to their spiritual wings. You're assigned to that. They will walk. Your job is only to assist them with their spiritual wing. And that's been my role with both of my sons, to make sure they're connected to that. And then the earthly plane is, the father played more of the earthly plane, but we're still very connected. He is, but mine was to make sure I'm aligned, so I can assist this. So I'm aligned, to assist, because I know you see the role of Jordan, and you see the role of Sandra, and you see all these other ones that are coming in. So and it's beyond being a doula. It's beyond being, I mean, it's so much larger what you are doing. The way, the ancient way we prepared the celebration of these ancient ones coming in.
it does feel, and, as I enter my baby MAGA, as I move towards my crone years, I'm still a baby, in that sense, but I just feel like I'm done having babies, but I just feel so much more convicted about this message for women and the partners who have the foresight to be very intentional about this process. And so just like you, I have women who are coming to me who have had a fertility delay or a fertility block. And my gift with that is through the embodiment spectrum of giving voice to conflicting feelings, which may be creating and contributing to the hiccup. And then for the women, they're usually about a younger 25 to 35 who are like, I just want to invest what I can. I want to know all the things. I want to look at all the pillars and prepare myself physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. That's also such a beautiful pleasure to connect with them as well.
Do you also teach others to like a mentorship or actual teaching program where other women, I know several beautiful individuals that want to be doulas, or they feel so strongly caught. And I always felt it's so beautiful being a doula. There's the vibration at this next level is needed. We're the ones that are, it's more than that are bringing, which I knew you were on. So I was so excited to have you bring it on, and whether you actually teach what you're doing to others so that they also can, Yeah.
Well, one, I feel that a doula is a remembrance. It's only because we forgot that now we have to have all these courses. When I was in Bali and I heard the word doula and I was like, oh, what's that? I was like, oh, I've been doing that. I've been tending births. I've been giving prenatal massages and teaching prenatal yoga and just honoring the pregnant form and the fertile years. Oh, that's what a doula is. Check. So I feel like the doula is it's women remembering inherently our gifts, our feminine gifts. And you have confirmed from me, because Spirit's been start writing your training program. And so you just confirmed it for me, because in the way of conscious conception. Yeah.
You're here, for example, here in Florida. This has to be for people that are in many different places, so they can that's why we're kind of spreading ourselves with these wisdoms that have been golden nuggets that have been pardoned up on our ascension journey, because we have to help others that are younger. We're younger, so they can be the carrier of these templates for more of these souls coming in. We need, because you and I know these ones coming in are facing all kinds of things, I just call them, that are placed in front of them in order for them not to deliver the heavenly goods. They have that. So careful with what I'm saying.
I understand.
Yeah. So then there are many of us that are spreading apart, creating the divine containers with trainings so that they can easily come in without the limitations, because through this big bright light, it will be invisible, so they won't be sort of blocked.
Yeah. Well, I feel, and I don't want to speak a lot about attack, but I feel that, they're being attacked preconceptively through our own bodies, through the inundation of the chemicals and the EMFs and all the things that we know that have been creatively constructed to disrupt the human genome and the perfection of our cells. It's called genocide, people, and it works because it spans generations, or it has worked in the past. So
it had worked.
It has worked in the past. But what I love about the 7 generations wisdom is that it it's proven now by epigenetic science, but it existed in that, our influences are now and our choices now affect the next 7 generations. And
Right.
so I find that really, profound, but I find it really empowering.
And I want to speak to that. However, if I just may say, the epigenetics has communicated that. However, when we know our cells regenerates every 7 years, there's a whole generation that also has more supreme power
Yes.
than the generational. Many of these souls coming in on and these templates, they are not carrying it. And no matter how much EMF, no matter how much chemicals being spread, no matter, the template is so crystalline in the Christ consciousness, the true Christ consciousness that blasts it
through the illusions.
So, and I feel what is so important, that trust and that knowing is the container that you got this, because I feel a lot of these were, and I'm being very conscious about the word they had power. They no longer have power at all. And that's why more of these come in the communities of light are being, but the true crystalline light are being the container. So these ones can come in freedom, in freedom, in these temples that with some of these like millennials of our children that they know, like we're going to get them ready, like I'm going to take care of these in these other extra ways rather than just the physically. So they can come in through these inner stargates very easy, and the codings are not disturbed. Thanks to this sort of experience of the last couple of years we had, and the stuff of everything that gives the ability to be like, no, we're going to choose, differently.
Yes. Yeah, I love what you said, the container and the communities. And really what I'm inspired about is helping women and their partners embrace that container and honor it. And a lot of the fertility people I work with, those who have hit a fertility delay, they're doing all the things, but their container, and it goes back to boundaries, it's not being held. And so there's a lot of teaching them, like not teaching them, but guiding them to look at their lives to say, what is trying to infiltrate my container? Like, where are the boundaries here? And are they being respected? And to slough out. There's a lot of the intense energy of doing. And I find that this conception process is, it's kind of the dark energy, not the dark negative, but the mysterious. And you don't really access the mysterious when you're running around. It's not so much easy. I mean, it can just come and grace you with its awareness, but it usually comes in the quieter, softer moments, whether that be, by the beach or in the shower or.
Exactly. And, and those souls know, they're like, okay, the container is kind of like, they look at it as it's contaminated. I can't come in.
It's not ready yet. It's not ready.
I can't go. Yeah. Okay, raise it up for me because I'm
ready to come, but you're not ready.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't identify as being a medium. I am highly intuitive. What I do is I help people connect with the energy wishing to be born through them rather than channeling and communicating and being an intermediary for them. It's like, let's create that, clear the channel, get it very clear so that you can have greater communication. You guys can collaborate. And they'll tell you like that energy with God, like move my life this way and that way. And then voila. So really, but yes, the teacher training is coming for conscious conception doulas.
I'm so glad. So glad. And hopefully like I feel like you and I both receiving it, that teacher training with that in collaboration. It is in such a collaboration because we're finding more and more in this ascension journey, there's a lot more pooling of the resources of collaboration together, because we each position certain places, and on a just a physical level a certain amount, but this is like it wants to spread like that.
It has to. Yeah, it's so important.
So that great, this is fantastic. So for people, I'm going to be posting the link on this video as soon as we are done. Is there anything else coming up, Jocelyn, that you want to share with the audience?
Like closing words or programs or anything?
Classes, events, anything?
Sure. Yes. So a couple of months ago, I brought a beautiful group of people together in the spirit of collaboration for an 8-hour convergence exploring preconception preparation, womb reconnection, and generational healing. It's called Birthing Bliss, and it includes the voices of one of my mentors, Ibu Robin Lim. It has the voice of an amazing herbalist, trauma-informed psychologist, and just amazing people you'll want to sit with. So it's found anyone interested in conscious conception, I want to encourage them to download Birthing Bliss. And then I have a 6-month group holistic preconception program called Make Space for Baby. And that's where we look at the body, the mind, the energy, or I put it, the heart, the home, the body, and the relationships, and help to up level and prepare so you can make space for these ancient wise souls who want to come in, get it all ready for them.
Excellent. And if you send me, I think I already have that direct link, I'll upload it on this, because I feel like audience, some would be very, very interested, because this is exactly what they're looking for, and they already know it. The sacred soul is already communicating. That would be so wonderful. And I wanted to have you on so you can speak of it, so they can feel the frequency at what level you're sharing. Because a lot of times we post it on social media, it can't capture the frequency until it is shared in this way. It's like, wow, the respect that it really deserves.
Thank you.
That really, thank you. Thank you so much for answering the call, and for this moment.
So really, this is the moment we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I had a lot of dreams as a kid, and I was like, oh, we're here now. So I'm grateful to know you, that we're tribe and community and together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And much more.
And much more.
Much more. So closing moment.
Yes.
Anything you like to share with the beautiful audience from your heart?
Whether or not you are wanting to have a baby, if those years are done for you, or you decide it was not for you, conscious conception or peaceful birth, these are ecological issues that matter to every single person. It affects our quality of life. So we can just imagine what a life on the planet would be if every child, or most children, were brought in or received with this level of consciousness, intention, and love and compassion, because none of us are asking to be perfect. But just imagine a world where, you were received, and you were welcomed, and you were wanted. What would it be like? What would your life be like if you had that immediate receptivity and honoring of your spirit? So, yeah. That's always touching for me to imagine a world like that and what my life would have been like. I'm grateful for the way it is, but if it had been tweaked a little bit, what would it have been like? So
next time.
Well.
You and I both. It's I don't know if you know, but Keon is down here in Florida with us, and he's like, I want to be with you and Michael for a while. So because after so many years of not being together, like in that, so a lot of times I go in his room, I jump on the bed, I just kiss him. He's like, Mom, I'm a grown man. I'm like, I don't care. And just that squeezing hug and kiss, and then He's like, why? He's always, I said, why do you do it to that level? I said, because I was never kissed or hugged ever as a child. Like it just wasn't.
Yeah.
And how wonderful that I get to share that, and you get to experience it, you know? And how wonderful that transformation is. So he's like, okay, you know.
Okay, mom. But he's like, this is part of your healing. Okay, mom.
And I let him, I was like, you know what? It's not about you. You're an excuse. I can just hug and kiss you so much.
Yeah, it's that affection. You know, Sienna had so much of it that it's an interesting expression now of her love language, that if she's not getting enough physical attention, she questions if she's loved or not. Because I mean, she was always in the pouch. We did a lot of attachment parenting and skin to skin and all things. She's naked most of the time. So she's like, I'm like, okay, you know, we're also learning, she's learning self-regulation, but co-regulation is really important for most of us, but especially for the littles between 0 to 12. So, you know, even as they get bigger, we still can hold them.
Oh, no, it ain't gonna end.
It's not gonna end.
On my watch, Jocelyn, it is not ending.
Everyone's getting loved up.
It's like, yep, I'm devoted to this.
Well, Jordan will be here for spring break, so maybe we can get together and introduce our kids,
so wonderful.
Our adults, young adults.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I love you so much,
I love you too.
Thank you so much for your time, for your energy, for your sacred essence presence. I don't know what that beeping has been all around. So there's maybe hybrid children are like, yes, we're coming in. Yes, we're open for practice.
Exactly. Like, thanks for advocating for us.
Yes, exactly. And special gratitude to the audience for tuning in today, and just being open.
Yeah.
And receiving whatever resonated with you, take it. Whatever doesn't, toss it. We're not here to convince anything. We're just merely here to share. And also, the personal walk of ascension is the key here. And Jocelyn's beautiful walk of ascension has brought her right now to this point in her service to humanity. And of course, there's so much more. But what a blissful gift has been to be gifted to hear in this moment what you're in service to through this mean. And so thankful to you, Jocelyn. So
honey, I love you. I appreciate you.
I love and appreciate you as well. And have a beautiful day, everyone. And I only ask, please, the biggest part of ascension is sharing. This video is going to be up in just a moment. It's going to be on all this multi Facebook pages. And so please reshare it. If you know anybody that wants to conceive, is ready, and they're going through, share this wisdom. There is higher conscious help, and you don't have to go through so much suffering. Yeah.
Ashe.
So much love, everyone. Have a beautiful, blessed